3 questions. That's all you need to keep any conversation alive.
Because we've all had this conversation. How was your weekend? Good. Cool. And then nothing.
Now the same conversation with one small question added. Good, I went hiking. Really? How did that go? And suddenly there's a story. There's a real conversation.
Today, the 3-question trick. 12 phrases that turn good into 20 minutes of real talk.
And phrase number 11, it rescues a conversation even after the silence has already started. Stay for that one.
Welcome back to Mia and Sam, Easy English Podcast, Episode 10.
Episode 10, Double Numbers, we made it.
This is one full focus session. 25 minutes, phone away, just English.
No notifications, no multitasking, just you, us, and some really useful English. Ready? Here we go.
So, Mia, honest question. Have you ever been in a conversation that just died?
Died.
Died, gone, finished. Both people looking at their shoes.
Oh, many times. Last month in the elevator with my neighbor, I said, "Nice weather today." He said, "Yes." 8 floors, Sam. 8 floors of silence.
8 floors is a long time.
So long. By floor 5, I was reading the fire safety poster, very carefully, like it was a novel.
The fire safety poster. The official book of awkward elevators.
What about you? You work online. Do you even have these conversations?
That's exactly my problem. I take photos of food all day, alone, at home. So when I finally meet real humans, my small talk is a little rusty.
Rusty how?
Okay, remember episode 1. I told you I used to freeze when I introduced myself.
I remember. The Frozen Sam era.
The Frozen Sam era. Well, I fixed that. Name, job, hobby, no problem now. But then I discovered a NEW problem. Minute 2.
Minute 2.
Minute 1 is fine. Hi, I'm Sam. I photograph food. Nice to meet you. Great. And then minute 2 arrives, and my brain just closes for the day.
Thank you for visiting Sam's brain. We are now closed.
Exactly. And the silence starts, and the silence grows.
Okay, this is so common, and I think I know why it happens. Can I share a theory?
Please save me.
The questions we learn in English class are mostly closed questions. Do you like your job? Yes. Was the trip good? Yes. One word and the conversation is over.
Oh, so the question itself kills the conversation.
Often, yes. A closed question gets you one word. An open question gets you a story. Do you like your job? One word. What do you think about your job? And now they have to actually talk.
So it's not me. It's my questions.
It's a little bit you, but mostly the questions.
There.
You know who taught me this? My aunt. She can talk to anyone. Taxi drivers, strangers at weddings. The quiet uncle nobody talks to. 20 minutes later, best friends.
How? What's her secret?
For years, I thought she was just born like that. Then one day, I really listened to her, and I noticed something. She almost never talks about herself. She just asks small questions and listens. Really? Tell me more. And how did that go? Little doors, and people walk through them.
Little doors. I like that.
And here's the nice part. You don't need to be funny. You don't need perfect English. You don't need to be interesting.
You need to be interested.
Exactly. And being interested only takes a few small questions. That's the whole trick.
Okay, try one right now, everyone. Out loud say, really, tell me more. That's it. You already have one little door in your pocket.
See, painless. So today, the 3-question trick. 3 types of questions that can reopen any conversation. Follow-up questions, opinion questions, experience questions.
3 doors and 12 phrases to open them.
Let's build your toolbox. And remember, say these out loud with us. Your mouth needs the practice, not just your ears.
Phrase number 1 coming up.
First, the map. When a conversation slows down, you have 3 doors. Door 1, follow up, ask about what they just said. Door 2, opinion, ask what they think. Door 3, experience, ask what they've done in their life. Any door works. Let's open door 1.
Phrase number 1. How did that go? How did that go? Someone mentions a thing they did, an interview, a trip, a first date, and you ask about the result. I had a job interview yesterday. Oh, how did that go? Boom, they have to tell you the story.
And number 2. What happened next? What happened next? This one is fuel. Someone is telling a story and the story slows down. What happened next? And the story starts again. It tells them, I'm listening. Keep going.
Number 3, and this is a grammar trap. Listen carefully. What was that like? What was that like? Careful, this like is not the verb like. It doesn't mean did you enjoy it.
Right, what was that like? Means describe it for me, paint me a picture. I lived on a boat for a year. Oh wow, what was that like? You're not asking yes or no, you're asking for the whole movie.
So do you like it? Asks for a feeling, yes or no. What is it like? Asks for a description.
Exactly. Small word, 2 completely different questions. Number 4. Really? Tell me more. Really? Tell me more. Technically, not even a question, and still one of the most powerful phrases in English. 4 small words that say, you are interesting, please continue.
My favorite thing about this one, 0 thinking required, brain closed for the day. Really? Tell me more still works.
The emergency phrase for frozen Sams everywhere.
We are many. Okay, door 2. Opinion questions. Number 5. What do you think about it? What do you think about it? The classic open question. I just changed jobs. What do you think about the new place? People can always talk about what they think.
Number 6. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about it? Very close to number 5, but softer, more personal. What do you think asks their head. How do you feel asks their heart. Big change is coming in their life, ask the heart.
Number 7. Would you recommend it? Would you recommend it? Perfect after someone describes a restaurant, a film, a place, a book. Would you recommend it? And now they're giving you advice. People love giving advice.
They really do. Ask me about coffee places. I have opinions. I have maps.
We know, Mia. We know. Door 3, experience questions. And number 8 is our second grammar trap. Have you ever tried it? Have you ever tried it? Have you ever? This is the present perfect, so it needs the third form of the verb.
This is the one everybody slips on. It's have you ever been to the mountains? Not have you ever went. Have you ever seen it? Not have you ever SAW. Ever plus the third form, been, seen, tried, done.
And why is this question so good? Because have you ever opened someone's whole life? Not just today, not just this week. Everything they've ever done is now on the table.
Number 9. What's the best trip you've ever taken? What's the best trip you've ever taken? The pattern is what's the best you've ever, and you can change the middle. The best meal you've ever had. The best advice you've ever received. The best you've ever. A superlative plus present perfect, people light up when they answer this one.
Because nobody answers the best trip ever with one word.
Nobody, number 10. That reminds me of. That reminds me of. This is the bridge. They told their story, now you connect your story to theirs. That reminds me of my first week in the city. A conversation is ping pong. This is how you hit the ball back.
Important. Bridge, then return the ball. Tell your short story, then ask them something again. Don't keep the ball for 10 minutes.
Looking at nobody in particular.
My food stories are fascinating, Mia. Okay, 2 phrases left. And number 11 is the one we promised you at the start. The rescue phrase.
Number 11. So, what have you been up to lately? So, what have you been up to lately? This is for the moment the silence has already started. 3 seconds of quiet. 5, you feel it growing. Then, so, what have you been up to lately? And the conversation gets a brand new engine.
Been up to just means been doing. It's friendly, it's casual, and it works with almost anyone you already know. The silence isn't the end. It's just a pause if you have this phrase.
And number 12, an old friend. How about you? How about you? Yes, the same 3 words from episode 1. Back then, it saved your introduction. Today, it saves your whole conversation. You answered a question, pass it back. I'm more of a tea person these days. How about you?
The smallest phrase in the series, still undefeated.
12 phrases, 3 doors, no more dead conversations.
And after practice, a true story. This trick saved me at a wedding. Table 7, total silence, stay for it.
Now practice time. Shadowing. I say a sentence, then silence. You repeat it out loud. Don't just listen. These questions need to live in your mouth, ready to go.
How did that go?
What happened next?
What was that like?
Really? Tell me more.
What do you think about it?
How do you feel about it?
Would you recommend it?
Have you ever tried it?
What's the best trip you've ever taken?
So, what have you been up to lately?
How was that? If you said all 10 out loud, you now have 10 little doors in your pocket. Any one of them can save a conversation. Okay, slow story time. Get comfortable. This time I'll tell the story, slowly. Short sentences, so you can follow every single word.
The wedding story.
The wedding story. My cousin's wedding 2 months ago. A big day. Music, flowers, 200 people, and one very nervous Sam.
Nervous. Why?
Because of the seating plan. I looked at the card, table 7. I knew nobody at table 7.
Oh no, a whole dinner with strangers.
A whole dinner, and next to me sat an older man. Quiet, gray hair, kind face. He nodded at me. I nodded at him. And I said the only thing my brain could find. Nice weather today.
The elevator classic.
Well, the classic, and he said, yes. And then silence. Real silence. The kind you can hear. 10 seconds that felt like 10 minutes.
I know that silence.
I was already looking for a fire safety poster to read, but there was no poster. There was only the trick. So I took a breath and I opened door 1. I said, "So, what have you been up to lately?"
The rescue phrase.
The rescue phrase. and he smiled the first real smile, and he said, "Well, I just came back from a long trip, actually."
Ooh, and you said, really? Tell me more.
Word for word, and he told me 3 months, walking, a long mountain trail, the kind that takes a whole season to finish. He walked it alone, at 68 years old.
68. Okay, now I have questions.
So did I asked, what was that like? And Mia, his eyes changed. He wasn't at table 7 anymore. He was back on that mountain. He talked about cold mornings, about eating soup under the stars, about one night when his tent almost flew away in the wind.
Wait, the tent almost flew away. What happened next?
See what you did there? That's exactly what I asked. What happened next? And he laughed and said, I held the tent with both hands for an hour, in my pajamas, in the rain. A 68-year-old man holding his house in his hands, laughing at the sky.
I love him already.
Everybody at table 7 loved him, because by now the others were listening too. The whole table had turned toward this quiet man. Then someone across the table asked, "Have you ever been afraid up there? Really afraid?"
A good question. Door 3.
Door 3, and he went quiet for a second and said, "Once, but that's exactly why I went." The whole table was silent, but the good kind of silent this time.
Wow. So what do you think about all this? One small question, and the quietest man at the wedding becomes the most interesting.
That's exactly the lesson, right? He was never boring. He was just waiting for a door. And you know, that reminds me of my own work. Everyone thinks food photos are just food photos. But ask a photographer one real question, and we won't stop talking.
I've noticed.
But here's my favorite part of the story, the end of the evening. He turns to me and says, "Enough about my mountains. I've been talking all night. How about you, young man?"
No, he used the trick on you.
He used the trick on me. He passed the ball back like a professional. So I told him about my food photos and my Frozen Sam era, and he laughed. And then he asked, "And the photography business, how did that go?"
A follow-up question. This man is one of us.
He's better than us. 2 hours, Mia. We talked for 2 hours. And it all started with one rescue phrase in 10 seconds of terrible silence.
So, final question for you, the 3-question trick. Would you recommend it?
To every single person watching this, 10 out of 10. It turned the scariest table at the wedding into the best one.
Okay, now quiz time. Based on Sam's story, I'll ask a question. You pause, think, say your answer out loud. Then I'll give you the real answer. Question 1. Where was Sam sitting at the wedding? Table 7, the table where he knew nobody. Question 2. The silence had already started. Which phrase did Sam use to rescue the conversation? So, what have you been up to lately? A phrase number 11, the rescue phrase. A question 3. What did the older man do for 3 months? He walked a long mountain trail alone at 68 years old and held his tent in the rain, in his pajamas.
The pajama detail is important. If you got at least one right, you were really listening. Nice work. Okay, before you go, one quick check. This is the important stuff. I'll give you a situation. You essay why the phrase out loud. Then we tell you the answer.
No pressure, just try. Speaking is how it sticks.
Number 1. Your friend says, I had a job interview yesterday. Ask about the result.
How did that go? And now you get the whole story.
Number 2. Someone tells you something surprising. You want them to continue. 4 small words.
Really? Tell me more. The emergency phrase, 0 thinking required. Number 3, grammar check. Which is correct? Have you ever went to the mountains? Or, have you ever been to the mountains?
Have you ever been? Have you ever is the present perfect. It needs the 3rd form. Been, seen, tried, done.
Number 4. Your friend just watched a new film. Ask for their opinion, the classic open question.
What do you think about it? Door 2. People can always talk about what they think. Number 5. The conversation died. The silence has already started. Rescue it.
So, what have you been up to lately? A brand new engine for the conversation. Number 6, the other grammar trap. Your friend lived 1 year in another country. You want them to describe it, not answer yes or no.
What was that like? This like isn't the verb. You're asking for the picture, the feeling, the whole movie. And number 7, the last one of the episode and of the whole first season. You just answered a question. Pass the ball back, 3 words.
How about you? Where it all began.
That's the important stuff. 3 doors, 12 phrases, and no conversation ever has to die again.
And can we take one small look back? 10 episodes ago, you learned to introduce yourself without freezing, with that exact little phrase, how about you?
Then your real messy mornings. I'm not a morning person. Small talk after hello. Talking about your job, your feelings more than just I'm fine.
Saying no politely. Thinking in English instead of translating. 2 full shadowing workouts for your mouth.
And today, the trick that keeps all of it going. That's not 10 videos, that's a toolbox.
Your toolbox, So here's your mission now. It's a good one.
Go back to episode 1. The whole playlist, full episodes, is right there. Watch the series again from the start, and this time notice how much more you understand. That feeling, that's your proof. That's 10 episodes of work living in your head.
And before you go, one last exercise in the comments. Use today's trick on US. Ask us one question, a follow-up, an opinion, or an experience question in English. We read every comment, and your questions might shape the next episodes.
And if this series helped you, subscribe. We make 3 new episodes every week. Season 1 is complete. You completed it.
And one more thing, your focus session is complete too. 25 minutes of English. Number 10 out of 10. Be proud of that.
Keep the conversations going. See you in the playlist.
Bye-bye.
Bye.